Good morning, Las Vegas. How are you doing, brothers and sisters? It's a good news that Las Vegas will again and soon be open for business. So, we'll be out of a quarantine very soon. So, it is very good news. Last week, we were all grateful for the many people who work hard for their community and nation. This time in particular, I want to say thank you to doctors, nurses, the medical personnel, and all the responders in the fight against the coronavirus pandemic. Today, I think I'll have some time to thank some other special people. Recently, True Mother said, "Since I still stand in the position of having embraced all humankind, which currently numbers 7.7 billion people, and until they are all embraced, our name will no longer be the Unification Church or Family Federation. I wish to change the name to 하늘 부모님 교단, Heavenly Parents Church in English. Each nation must grow root accordingly." Did you have a good understanding of the 하늘 부모님 교단, the Heavenly Parents Church? Probably most people are unfamiliar with this change. We have been used to Unification Church for the past 40 years. And we have made a lot of effort and sacrifice to complete the mission of the Unification Church. Then, for the past 20 years, we have been trying to get used to the Family Federation for world peace and unification. Despite our best effort to transition from the Unification Church era and to the Family Federation era, we often find ourselves tied to and cannot cut ourselves from the Unification Church. However, last month, True Mother proclaimed it, 하늘 부모님 교단, Heavenly Parents Church, out of Unification Church and the Family Federation for world peace and unification. We thank people who sacrifice and serve the society and the nation, such as soldiers, firefighters, policemen and women, and doctors. They clearly know what their role or mission is. They know what to complete their mission. They know which way to go. However, people of faith often have to go for what they cannot see, feel, and touch. Not only that, people of faith often live a life of total sacrifice, sacrificing their personal dreams, sacrificing their spouses and children for the well-being of others, for utopia dream. They not only live a selfless life, but they dedicate everything for an ideal, for a dream which many people consider to be an impossible dream. Oftentimes, some people criticize, mock and accuse them. other people just ignore them or question their service because they cannot see, feel, or touch their offering. Some other people who have been graced by their services simply forget to thank them for their sacrifice. So, today, we'll have a thank you time for these people. Do you know who I am speaking about? Then, give a big round of applause for them. This applause was for you. Those who take applause seriously must have worked really seriously. Am I right? Those who sincerely applaud are those who have worked sincerely. Those who clapped roughly and probably those who worked lightly and carelessly. Is there anyone who didn't clap? Perhaps you didn't think you deserved applause. However, today, everyone will applaud with gratitude to yourself and others around you. I believed every brothers and sisters proclaimed it as a heavenly travel message. So, I'm talking about all our brothers and sisters now. Oftentimes, we underestimate our value. Yet, we are perhaps the most important people who have ever lived at the most crucial time in history. What we do or don't do will affect generation and generation to come. The world worries about disease, catastrophe, and other things which affect our physical body and yet forget things that affect our souls, our spirit, long after we had died. That is why Jesus warned us in Matthew chapter 10, verse 28. Do not be afraid of those who kill the body but cannot kill the soul. Rather, be afraid of one who can destroy both body and soul in the hell. People of faith have the greatest value because their fight is to save not only body but also to save soul of people and connect them to God. Do you know any greater job than that? Is there any mission greater than to be a heavenly soldier? Especially in this time, even though we don't understand what our true mother has declared this time, our brothers and sisters are in a position of mind to follow sincerely and respectively. We know very well that this is a more difficult and arduous path than the path we know and have walked in the past. Going this way is not only physically difficult, but it is also mentally painful. I would like to tell you that heavenly travel messiahs are both worthy of praise and deserving of appreciation, because they live a selfless life and offer immense sacrifice for the salvation of the world. You deserve to be commended. Your family deserves to be commended, and your children. I know you have endured a lot of sacrifice, but you should be proud of yourself. In 1954, we followed Reverend Sun Myung Moon, true father, who took over mission from Jesus and walked the path that Jesus has not been able to walk. By receiving persecution, misunderstanding, and finger-pointing from countless Christians, we have followed and accompanied the true parents in the heavenly providence to find righteous sons and daughters of God to walk with. Our elders wandered the streets with their children, alone in the house. Home alone children had nothing to eat, so sometimes they took dog food in a neighbor's house and got bitten by a dog while doing so. For the realization of kingdom of heaven on earth, we have given up all our individuals and families' lives. We cast aside our desires and personal dreams and only live to build God's kingdom even in the most difficult environment. In communist nation that denied God, missionaries had to suffer miserable torture and death in the hand of communists. Similarly, for 40 years, we've been walking a single path, looking up only to God and true parents under the slogan, living for the sake of others. In 1994, the era of individual salvation was completed, emphasizing the importance of family salvation. We expanded the blessing to every corner of the world. True parents changed the name of Unification Church into the Family Federation for World Peace and Unification, emphasizing that the family is a school of love. They established the Family Pledge and the True Family Value Campaign, which has spread all over the world. So blessing began with 36 couples in the 60s. And in 1994, 360,000 couples were matched and blessed. Since then, we have witnessed the globalization of the blessing. Following this global expansion of the blessing, family members from all over the world visited house with holy wine cups in their hand and blessed the people. Some family members even set the condition of sprinkling the holy wine in river and blessing entire cities. Do you remember? Someone rented helicopters to sprinkling holy wine over the city from the air. Things that could not be thought of without faith really happened around us. From street to home, through other religions, blessing activities spread like wildfire. In this way, for 20 years, we believed and trusted in only God and true parents and walked only one way. The lives our brothers and sisters have lived for 60 years and lives which can be seen as life in hell. People cannot imagine that this lifestyle is a heavenly life. True parents taught us true love, and we practice it in our lives. We learn to give, forget and give even more to people who neither like us nor embraced, but in fact wanted us to disappear. This way of life can only be seen in our unification community. This is who we are. This is who we are. Finally, we have been blessed with the heavenly blessing of entering Cheonilguk. It was a blessing of comfort for family members in the midst of true sacrifice and suffering. Just as we believe in and follow the invisible and untouchable God, we have believed in the ideal of Cheonilguk that we cannot be seen or touched. We have believed in one God and true parents and walked one solid path for past 7 years. True Mother has returned to 7 countries over the past 7 years, saying that substantial nation must exist in order to realize the Cheonilguk. To be qualified as a restored nation, country had to receive the blessing given directly by true parents with the president of country, government officials, and leaders of religion representing the country in attendance. Father, you know, don't you? Following your ascension, I felt lost for words, in position in which I was the only one remaining. My heart felt as if I were in vast desert amidst a sandstorm, having to find a needle yet unable to open my eyes. Nonetheless, I found it. I had to find it. My resolve to absolutely restore 7 nations by 2020. My resolve to register all blessed family in Chonbowon as heavenly travel messiahs. These are my gift to you, Father. I pray that your gift, your life of Hyojung for Heavenly Parent, will radiate rays of hope throughout the world. Father, I love you. This was the content of the letter that True Mother wrote to Father. You can feel loneliness and pain of True Mother by looking at the content of this letter to True Father. However, True Mother did it. In addition, heart of family members who attended True Mothers must have been the same. We are like horses carrying True Mother. The way True Mother wants us to go is to be with True Mother. The horse doesn't know where to go, but it moves with its purpose set by the owner. So should we. Even if we did not understand the heavenly providence very well, we believed in the True Mother and moved under her guidance. Now True Mother is trying to embrace the world through Heavenly Parents Church, beyond individual, families, tribes, and nations. We must once again take courage and strength to serve True Mother and move forward into the new world. The function and system in the world have been temporarily stopped by the coronavirus. At this time, I sincerely appreciate many people who are related to COVID-19 crisis. Today, more than anyone else, I thank our brothers and sisters who believe in Heavenly Parent and True Parent and faithfully follow them. Our brothers and sisters are people who follow God and True Parents with a sincere faith without resistance or rejection. Even if we don't know our purpose and the way to go, our hope is to be guided by God and true parents. True parents walk the path of the completion of individual salvation from 1954 to 1994. And everything was with us. It was time of shared sacrifice and suffering. And from 1994 to 2013, true parents have been with us all the way, the path to completing family salvation. The path that true parents followed in the past 60 years was not for them. The path of individual and family salvation was the way all humanity must walk. However, true parents walked with us, for us on that rough path of pioneering. We successfully walked that way for humanity with true parents. So, who are the heavenly travel Messiah? And what do they mean to the true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind? I may say it is same as what Peter meant to Jesus. In Matthew chapter 16, verse 15 to 19, we read, "But what about you?" Jesus asked. "Who do you say I am?" Simon Peter answered, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." Jesus replied, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah. For this was not revealed to you by man, but by my Father in heaven. And I will tell you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gate of Hades will not overcome it. I will give you the key of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven." But heavenly travel messages are more important than Peter, because you are already heavenly travel messages, but Peter was not. What is travel messiah? Travel messiah is the master of true love. To be a master of true love was the hope of Jesus, the hope of Adam and Eve, and the hope of God. Thus everybody has to become master of true love and march on. If that happens, everything will be finished. Telling you to become a tribal messiah means telling you to become a tribal ancestors. That is why heavenly tribal messiah is special to true parents. Now true mothers say she will go on a long and great journey for the 7.7 billion people of the world. Who will go on this long journey with true mother? These are our heavenly travel messages. Heaven's street is a one-way street to heaven's gate. It's one way that does not allow U-turn. That is why it is shortest way to the heaven. True mother said, "My heart fell as if I were in vast desert amidst a sandstorm, having to find a needle yet unable to open my eyes." She shared her heart like this. I'm sure our brothers and sisters also felt the same way as true mother often felt. The heavenly path, one-way street with no return option, is always lonely and painful. Last 60 years, we walked and lived like heartbeats up and down so intensely. But our warriors never lost hope for God. But a moment like this is a time for brothers and sisters who go on the path together to care for and encourage each other. So I would like to sincerely give my respect and thanks to all those who are on this path today. I want to thank Kingdom Builders, the heavenly soldiers, dedicated brothers and sisters who sacrifice everything with no expectation. I am grateful for the many people who work for the community, and especially our brothers and sisters who work beyond the community and sacrifice on global level. At a time when all the function of life have been stopped by COVID-19, let's recharge and refresh our faith to be ready to serve God and true parents once again, and work hard to complete our true mother's hope for the humanity. At the end, you will receive the crown of glory because you are the true parent soldiers. You are the heavenly soldiers. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Thank you, brothers and sisters. God bless you. God bless you.